The saying goes, talk is cheap. How many times have we said or heard, I promise, I swear? How often do we commit to something but don't actually follow through? Do we really mean what we say? This week's Parsha, Matot, starts off with a topic of making vows or oaths. The Torah says that if a person makes a vow or an oath, then lo yachal dvaro, he shall not break his word. Kechol hayotze mipiv ya'aseh, anything that comes out of his mouth he shall do. In other words, if a person says something, then he should mean what he says. But why does the Torah need to say its message twice, repeating the same idea in different words? Shouldn't once be enough? Chazal teach us that similar to other verses in Tanakh, this repetition is not just a literary device, but is actually teaching two different and even complementary ideas. The first message is, Lo yachal dvaro, he shall not break his word. Once a person has vowed or sworn something, the Torah tells us that it is prohibited for the person to break that vow or oath. Be that as it may, human beings don't and can't exist in a world of absolutes. There will be times when a person will want or need to back out of his vow or oath. Even so, the Torah still prohibits him from breaking it. The Gemara in Chagiga 10a observes, however, and says, Rav Yehuda says in the name of Shmuel, that by the manner that the Torah phrases this idea, he shall not break his word, the Torah is actually hinting that there is a way to overturn a vow. The person himself might be proscribed from breaking his vow, but he can go to someone else, a chacham, who can help him find an opening, a way to annul and cancel his vow. The message of the second part of Kechol hayotze mipiv ya'aseh, anything that comes out of his mouth he shall do, is essentially that a person should mean what he says. But what does that imply? What are his intentions when he utters the words? What was his purpose for saying them? Are they binding even if he says it in jest? What if he doesn't say the words exactly in the normal way? What are the ramifications? There is a whole Gemara, Nedarim, as well as many other places throughout all of Shas, which examine these exact questions and more. The idea being that speech is a gift and is holy, and therefore one must be careful with its use. The Kotzker Rebbe said it best, not everything that a person thinks should be said. And he continues that thought. Not everything that a person says is fit to be written, and not everything that is written warrants to be published. Through teaching us about the seriousness of vows and oaths, the Torah is instructing us as to the importance of our gift of speech and how to use it, so that ultimately we can elevate and transform ourselves in the process. Shabbat Shalom.